talking. Don't worry about
Okay.
it. Just carry on.
Okay, so this is right. I've lost my thread. So this is about that readdressing of the divine masculine. That's where I was at, wasn't it? So what it
Yeah.
is, it's about bringing hidden, old, ancient, rooted information through. And what the other side of it is, they're bringing me to the calcites because it has to sit within. It has to go within, and it has to like draw that knowledge from deep within core. It's coming to the surface, but it's allowing us the space to breathe. Actually, they're saying breathe a lot. There's a lot of techniques actually coming through about breath at the moment. So it's saying allow that circular breath. That's where amethyst comes in. But they need, so I don't even want to go in the dream realm with amethyst. I want to go, which one? You. Right. So they're bringing amethyst in and they're coming into a very dark, dark amethyst. So it's about that deep rooted, mountainous, almost like tribal knowledge that's coming to the surface within people. So they're saying, look, yes, this is hard, right? We've been hitting you and hitting you and hitting you, but there is reasons for that. But when you take the emotion out of it, when you cut away all that emotion and look at it from a spiritual perspective, you'll understand this need to bring that balance back in. Okay. So they're now bringing me into the balance. So we're going into balance, which would be the black and the white. I want to go with this. This is Deborah Agate because, again, it's quite a dense stone. It's cryptocrystalline. So it's very dense, but it has that silica heart that's right within it. Because everything comes down to everything is reflected. So what they're showing me is that we're reflected in the earth, and we need to be at one with the earth. Great. That's nice, isn't it? Thank you, Spirit. They like to do things like that, don't they? Because it's enriching. There's a lot of luck that's around actually as well. They're saying, take the opportunity. Now's the time to harness that opportunity, harness that power within yourself. You change your own luck, right? You bring that in. But we need to ground that down into the present. And that's the process that's going on at the moment. So roll with it. I think I'm calling another 3 cycles we've got yet to go through. It's going to culminate on the 21st, which is the summer solstice. That's where I'm calling it forward. That's a fire festival. I've been saying don't manifest at the moment because it could go really awry. But what they're saying is the power of that is within your hands. So make sure that your intentions, and we're coming back to Unakai, is melding together in the right way. So you're not invoking future karma. You're doing it to enhance the collective, not reduce the collective.
Yeah.
So they're really saying about this inner space, this calm, this zen that comes in, that's rooted and grounded into the aragonite.
Wow.
Right, they've switched. Sorry, that's it. They've said that what they need to say. Crazy. This is my
Hi,
crazy
Kerry.
world. Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. And how are you?
Very good, thank you very much. Lovely to see you.
Right, there I am. I can see you all now.
Yeah,
it's a long time. Things have changed since I last spoke to you guys.
Nothing's changed in my world. It's the same old boring thing it's always been. What about you? What's down on yours?
Kerry's, do you know what Kerry's been doing? Kerry's got her, what's that school thing that I call it a school? What do you call it? I've gone blank.
Academy.
The Academy, yes. The Crystal Academy.
Oh, yes.
Which has gone from strength to strength. And now she's got this other one going on.
Very well.
I know, I've got a lot going on. There's been a lot that's been going on, mainly because, like, I can't even begin to start. I'm living in a very crazy world at the moment. Riding these energetic waves is going a little bit crazy, but it's all good, right? The ethos of my business has always been about bringing the best tools, because it's not just about crystals. It's about bringing the best tools and teaching people, why do we do the things we do in spirituality? What's the point of it all? It's all well and good saying, like, trust the process and the spiritual memes that are out there, but they actually have a deeper, more connected meaning. And I wanted a space where I could got a lot of knowledge in this old brain of mine over the years. You know what I mean? I've worked spiritually a lot. But one thing I did notice was people would buy loads and loads of like things like crystals or drums or rattles or tinting bells or, you know, like the whole paraphernalia of spiritual tools, and not actually really understand the fundamentals of why we choose and utilize the tools we do. So yeah, that's where the academy got born, really. It was because I like to talk. I've got a lot of knowledge. I want to pass that on. I was stopped doing the paranormal, the podcasting on the paranormal side of things. I'd stepped away from that into this avenue. But having said that, even that is like crossing through. It's like, it's weird how threads come together, isn't it?
That's the thing. It all overlaps each other, doesn't it? It'll become sort of one big tapestry in the end.
Yeah.
Like, I want that crystal. Do you like give an explanation of what to do with it?
When I sell them?
Yeah.
Well, on the website, all the information is there about the crystals. If I've gone into a deeper dive, then there's more information. But yeah, all the information is available on the website. But so
What's
you can put.
What's the website? Let me put it up here.
It's Spirit and Soul Island at Square Site. If you put Spirit Soul Island, it should come up on Google.
Dash Soul Island.
Spirit Soul Island crystals Square Site. I've got to sort the domain name out because it is far too complicated.
I'll put in some of it on there, and they can search for it if they want to.
Yeah.
Come up.
The thing is with it, it's like the tech side. I've never been great at tech, and I've set up this website, and I'm like still learning my website. But as you can see, how many crystals I've got. I've been trying to upload all the stock, and I'm literally up to tumblestones. So everything you see on the shelves behind me is actually up on the website. So I'm getting there, and as I get there, I'll tweak things to make things a bit easier. Like I sorted a QR code for the website out today. I was like, yay!
I must admit, I saw your crystals earlier on while you were doing the chat around, and it looks like, have you been breeding them?
I've been breeding them.
It seems to be a lot more than or quite a few more than there used to be.
Yeah, it's expanded a lot. Things have expanded an awful lot.
It's brilliant though. It looks really nice. It's great. It's really good. And it's great news that you know the whole thing's coming on. The college and what have you. It's fantastic.
It's doing really, really well. And then of course I've been able to step into my intuitive work a lot more as well, which is a blessing because it was hit and miss before. So tarot reading is like off the scale at the moment, and I feel so connected with that and doing reading. I kind of I'm getting to the point where I'm getting beyond cards. Do you know what I mean? I can sort of like I suppose it's like I can just, I don't know, it's just there. You know, it's like maybe it's just there.
Do you know what? You've always been a happy person, right?
Yeah.
I'll testify to that. But the thing
I don't know, my friends might argue with that.
But the thing is, you seem a lot lighter now, and a lot like you're more comfortable where you are.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I'm stepping more into my authentic self. You know, I'm actually able to, I'm in a position where I'm able to be who I wish to be rather than being constrained by social constructs because of my employment or something like that. So that in itself is a blessing because I get that if I want to work throughout the night and sleep throughout the day, then I can. You know what I mean? If that suits my own personal circadian rhythm, I'm very lucky I can do that.
It's good.
And that allows me to have a deeper connection with my own rhythms and my own vibration.
Yeah.
So I do feel more comfortable with myself.
You seem a lot more
happier.
You've always been like that, but you seem a lot more content and happy. Not that you ever seem discontent, but you seem a lot in a better place.
You can see it, though, can't you,
Dan? I've definitely turned a corner.
Which is great.
Yeah. Went through a very dark time.
Yeah.
You need those times, though, unfortunately. We need those times, don't we, to help us grow.
You live and learn, and it's embracing. And again, this is another thing. It's like I embrace the lesson. You know what I mean? Like, sit here in my trauma, embrace it. No, I'm on my knees. I need someone to help.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
What do I do? I'm on my knees. I can't breathe. And, you know, I've got a spiritual belief, and they're going, oh, just trust it and all work out. No, spirit, sort me out. What do I need to do in this situation?
Yeah.
It's a bit like going to church and going, God, come on now.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
what I mean? But what it says is sit within it. And then when you release and you actually go, okay, so I'm going to, if I need to cry, I'll cry. If I want to scream, I'll scream. If I want to run this energy out in the gym or down the lake or whatever it be, then I'll do that. And actually, when you start going, what can I do? What action within myself can I take? Yeah, to shift or work through this in whatever form, healthy form, obviously. So you're not looking at dulling it with alcohol or drugs or, you know, anything like that. What you're looking at doing is allowing yourself to process that through. And then your faith comes in because you go, okay, so what is my spiritual belief here? How can it support me in the same way as you'd go and talk to a priest or your best mate if you don't believe in God, kind of thing. For me, it was getting out in nature. It was literally getting out in nature, screaming into the wind, whatever I needed to work through, and connecting, getting a new connection with myself. And I'm very blessed. I have a lot of spiritual friends that love me and support me and help talk me through stuff, even when I'm questioning my faith. And I also have amazing healers that surround me in their individual ways that have helped me through some of the hardest times of my life. And you know what? It's all been spirit-based.
I think you're right. I think that's healthy that you do question yourself. I think it is healthy. I think that's, I know it sounds a bit hippy-dippy, but that's how you grow. And I think that the thing is that we scream for help for these answers, don't we? We whoever, God, spirit, whoever. And the truth of the matter is they leave us be because they know that the answers we can find inside ourselves.
Exactly.
You know?
They give us all the tools. This is the other thing, is they give us all the tools to do it, surrounding us, you know, like with crystals and organic things and, you know, like even people they bring in to reflect stuff back at you. You know what I mean? It's all there for you. It's almost like they give it to you on a platter, but it's about how to understand that and interpret that within yourself. And actually a lot of steps we take in regard to a spiritual lifestyle, which is effectively what I'm talking about, living and breathing the spirituality rather than just having it floating around the house. You know what I mean? Very similar to probably what you would learn in a circle with someone like Biv.
Yeah.
Because that increases your connection to the divine, to spirit. And that's the bit that people kind of miss. They think it's out there when actually it all comes down to within your core.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they think.
And if you don't know your own vibration, then how can you pick out the spirit's vibration? So that's why you need to learn your own vibration, so you can pick up that energetic differences when they come close, or when the universe is giving you a message, or when it's an angel. And then actually that then helps you, because when you're in the physical, you start being able to recognize another person's energy. And if you start recognizing another person's energy, you kind of pick up the liars and betrayers before they even get through the door.
Yeah. No, it's true. I think you're right. I think as well, it's a lot of people seem to make the mistake, or they make the error that we're a separate entity from the universe, when at the end of the day, we're an integral part of it. We're all part of it, you know?
We are part of the pattern. Yeah.
I've just put in a request down to Andy to bring my latest purchase from Kerry, which I absolutely adore.
I thought you were going to bring you up tea and a sandwich.
No, you're going to be jealous when you see this.
I'm always jealous.
No, you're going to want one. And Kerry's the lady. Kerry's the lady.
They're all packed up. All my dragons at the moment are all packed up.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
He is amazing.
God,
look at that. Look
Kerry,
at
have you got any more of those?
I love it.
Kerry, have you got any more of those?
do, but they're all packed up at the moment. I'm away at this weekend. I'm down in Cornwall. Going down to Cornwall to see my lovely ladies down in Cornwall. And I'm doing 2 events down there.
Very nice.
So they're all packed, and there's a lot of my crystal room that's actually packed up at the moment.
That's right. I can wait. I'm in no rush. I'll grab one off you when you get a chance, please.
Yeah.
No problem at all. We'll have a look on the website, because they are all on the website.
I will. Another thing I want to ask you while I'm on here, that's me buying stuff now. I'm gonna be like, I said to Viv the other day, I said I must have a word with Kerry. I'm after, and I can't find one big enough. I just want a clear quartz crystal that like a pendant, but it has to be quite a large one.
Like a pendant.
Yeah, or maybe I could convert it into a pendant.
Yeah, you probably would have to convert one. I've got some. I have got some clear quartz points that might do the job. Bear with me, callers. Your call is important to me.
Looks like that's a lot of me, Rita.
She's got some amazing.
I know, it's always had amazing crystals.
It's like crazy, isn't it?
If anyone in the chat wants one, let us know.
I'll tell you guys, you need to go to Kerry if you want to get crystal. Beautiful.
These are like quite chunky that you could get wire wrapped or something.
I could do that. Yeah, that's brilliant. I'll grab a couple of those off you if that's all right, please, Kerry.
Yeah,
that's wire for those.
I'm going to wire one up.
Pick out some chunky ones. But
Thank you.
Why don't you get 2 and just dangle them from your ears, Dan?
I was making one for me and one for you.
Thank you, Dan.
I could wrap one.
Perfect.
Kind of equipment.
I'm going to make one for me and one for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been quite a roller coaster, really, what with one thing and another. But it's like bringing it all back to, where do you start with all of this? I started with the spiritual field, moved into the paranormal. And trust me, the link, don't discount the spiritual. We say this, though, don't we? When we go out, we can have bells and whistles. And the other thing is that I've learned in part of this whole spiritual journey was actually that what the scientific explanations are, they're not wrong. They're exactly how it should work. But they're saying that that's reflected. So if you think about gravity and how the law of attraction works, it's exactly the same principle. If you think about cause and effect in physics, then that's exactly the same principle in spirituality. And that's the key, actually. When you really start delving it, you start understanding that, then you start actually having a lot more respect for what you say, who you talk to, where you go, who you allow in your energy, what you do with your own self-worth, self-respect, self-esteem type of thing. So that's why I wrote the course, really, was because when those understandings started coming in, I was just like, it's so simple, but it's so complex. So how do we utilize these tools to bring that basic in? So that's why I wrote the course of self, which comes with all of the tools, all of the information, why they're relevant. It's all well and good me saying, burn white sage, we're going to burn white sage, I'm going to go around the house, do my smudging. Why? Why do you do that?
Yeah.
What is it about that? Does that actually fit with your core? Forget anything else. Does that resonate with you? Because that's actually not something that's a British thing.
No.
Or a Celtic thing, or a Norse thing, or an Aboriginal thing. And if your core roots are not resonating with Native American,
absolutely agree.
You know what I mean? So you need to find your own core vibration.
Yeah,
to
absolutely
be able
agree.
To serve in an authentic space spiritually. And that's a constant balancing act. That's a constant evolvement. I'm not sitting here saying, once you've got to enlightenment, you're all lovely. Constantly going on. As the universe is constantly changing and moving, so are you, which is why it's a constant need to do that crappy shadow work that we all love, right?
So then my weird question is there a crystal that helps with it?
Sorry?
Is there a crystal that helps with that?
What, going within?
Yeah.
Amethyst.
Amethyst? Okay.
You know what? One of the most abundant crystals on this planet is quartz. Quartz-based. right? We talk about this it's one of the explanations, for God's sakes, in regards to stone tape theory that's been bandied about time and time again. Silica, when you think about that, take the emotion out. It takes you to your baseline. It's almost like one of those baseline things.
Yeah.
Take yourself back to your baseline. When you sit in your baseline, I was watching a channeler actually the other day, which was an experience, and he was channeling this. I'm going to call it an entity.
Okay.
And he was saying, he was talking about anxiety. Now, as you guys know, I have had anxiety in the past. I'd still suffer on a basis. I manage it a lot better now. But his perspective of that really actually made a new understanding about when you sit in anxiety, it's blocking because it's a fear. So you're fearing something. So when you sit within yourself and you say, why do I fear? What is it I fear? And literally face your fear, then actually it shows you that there's probably not a lot to be fearful about, because you've got to have faith and trust in yourself. And secondly, if it's the end of something, but it's really exciting because there's something new coming, right? You know what I mean? And actually learning to stop worrying and letting go, and just kaleidoscoping it into just a little bit, it allows you to for things to flow a lot easier in your surroundings. So whenever you get caught up with that fear, just again breathe it back to center. I'm right here, everything's fine, I've got new beginnings happening around me, I'm creating a positive life. If it doesn't make me feel good, I let go of it. I'm in control of this, because what I feel inside gets reflected. So I'm not going to feel like that. I'm going to work through that. I will do that maybe privately, but when I go out into the world, I know I'll be able to reflect the beautiful qualities I have, as much as, working through the crap. So it's about getting that balance right. And I'm not sitting here saying everybody might, like I say, I'm not sitting here saying that this is the answer to all your prayers if you've got like health issues or mental health issues or whatever. What I'm saying is this is very complementary to supporting the physical side of it in exactly the same way.
Kerry, Lorna said she thinks she's contacted you before about pendulums. Have you packed all your pendulums away?
I haven't, but I've just written a course on pendulum work, funnily enough, which comes with a pendulum board, which I'm quite good at picking crystals for people. It's a little talent I have. So I do have some stock of pendulums. These are not on the website yet, but the courses, which tells you, and everyone goes, oh yeah, but they're a yes and no tool. But they're not, right? They are so much more than that. So again, I wrote a whole course about it. Oh, it's here, this way. I bought, which comes with the tools you can have as well, with, like the pendulum, a pendulum board, and a couple of, and gives you all the meanings of everything, what you're doing. So yeah, Lorna, message me, because I do have some pendulums, but I do have a course as well.
I want both of those.
You want both of them?
Yeah. I want the pendulum and the course thing.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. I can sort that out for you. Thank you.
Get on the website or message Kerry through Spirit and Soul Island Crystals on Facebook.
Yeah, as I say, you can go over all these products are on the website, or you can message me privately. Payment will still come through the website, obviously, but I just need an email address and know where I'm posting to, so I can charge you the right money for postage. Don't want to overcharge you, otherwise, could go horribly wrong.
And you know what? I can't say this isn't enough. Like, I buy a lot of crystals every now and again when the mood takes me.
Never.
And the quality from Kerry, she will not sell you shit.
No, it's all good stuff.
Buys really good stuff,
Really
and the
quality
quality
stuff.
is amazing. And she also, if you watch her lives, she does special lives when she sells new stock, when it comes in, and she's bringing to you crystals that you wouldn't normally see in the shops or anywhere else. They are unique crystals with good quality.
They are great quality and good prices.
And that's what I like.
Really good prices.
Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere else for my crystals now. It's Kerry
No.
or forget
No.
it.
I'm definitely going to switch to what I'm doing because I chat local here, but I want something better. So I'm definitely going to go to you.
There you go.
Get yourself a dragon. Get yourself a dragon. They're amazing. They're
That's very
amazing.
cool.
They
Very
are
cool.
amazing. Get yourself a dragon. Well, she does other things other than dragons, but
yeah, it's that lots of fun things. No, it's the right tool for the right thing, isn't it? You know, like, and this is why you end up with a massive crystal collection, quite frankly, because you know, it's the right tool for the right, in exactly the same way was when I started working with herb work and spell work and that kind of level work. You start off maybe with like one herb, and then you end up with a whole apothecary of herbs. You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. So when you're working in this way, and this is why I think it's tragic that, you know, like utilize the tools that you've got, you buy them, they're there to help you. They've been given actually for you from the universe. You know, they're going, look, you know, we're going to give you the stuff that you can do. We're going to give it all to you. You just have to.
Yeah.
We're a bit distant up here. We don't always be able to get our message quite right. and, you know, like, you're kind of not very good at interpretation down there. So, we'll get tools to help you as well. You know.
Oh,
Hi, Ishmael.
He wants you to call him. Call you what? Ishmael says, call me.
Ishmael, call me.
Call you Ishmael. I think that's what he means. He just wants to shout it. I don't know. But we don't call anyone, you know.
So Bri says, Kerry, what should my go-to crystal be? That's Bri. Bri's asked that.
Right. So for a good baseline crystal, you know, clear quartz, blank canvas crystal, amplifies just about any intention you've got. The only proviso with that would be you have to be really sure of your intentions when you're working with it, because it is like a no nonsense kind of crystal. It will literally you tell it, you go straight line, it will do exactly what you want it to do. It will push that power in that direction for you. So think of clear quartz as the needle that you can utilize to weave your intention into the thread.
There you go, Bri.
There you go, Bri. Do you want a quartz crystal from Kerry? Send her a message. She'll sort you out, Bri.
Seriously, don't go anywhere else, to be honest.
Bullying people into buying crystals now. You go over there and buy crystals.
I don't mind.
Gone. I was there.
Kerry, I don't mind pimping you out anytime. Just let me know.
That's a whole different ball game.
I'll be your crystal pimp. Not what you think.
That's a new one.
Kerry, can you talk about totem crystals? Because some people don't even know what that is or what they're there for. I mean, I know I'm showing people my dragon, but he's a totem.
Yeah, correct. So what you're talking about is right. When we're talking, it's signs and symbols and reflecting the world around us. So say, for example, you look at, okay, a bear. A bear has come in my head. This must probably because there's bears and men all over the internet at the moment, right? But so you've got a totem of a bear. What does that represent to you? It's the embodiment of the qualities that the totem represents. So, for example, if you're delving into the dragon world, we know that dragons are etherical creatures, right? They're up there on the ether. They're there, they are there, trust me. And they relate to elements. So when we start looking at crossovers, you can relate a dragon's energy to an element because that's where they sit. They sit up on that. So when you're choosing a totem, you're choosing a totem that is representation to fit in with the intention work that you're doing. Okay. So if you're doing like healing work, for example, physical healing work, and you're laying crystals on, you would utilize crystals that would relate to the energy signatures within the body, the chakras, right? So you would go for crystals that relate to color and crystal structure that fit with the sacred geometry of the chakra point to help enable the connection.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the basic logic of this. So when you're applying totems in regards to like your daily practice or in crystal gridding or manifestation work, what you're doing is the pre-work before the intention setting. So this is, again, the bit that everybody kind of forgets and misses out. The prep work is key, because what you're doing in exactly the same way, and again, it's reflection. When you're realigning your chakras, you're not getting it into one vibration. You're getting it into a harmony, a song. So think of the do, re, mi, and I definitely want to go with the sound of music. Go listen to the do, re, mi song, right? It is literally telling you how energetic signature builds up to harmony.
Yeah.
Right? That is what's going on in your chakras.
Oh, okay.
When you're doing an intention, you need to work through exactly the same processes as that baseline. It's given, again, it's blueprint. So why am I doing the intention? Is it done? What, why am I doing it? The how, why, who, when, what, which, where's of it. Right?
Yeah.
So you're not doing it with a bad intention. And you might go, oh, I just want a bit of money. But the universe is going to bring you just a little bit. If you want a regular flow of things coming in, you need to set a vibration that hits that and sit within it. We talk about resonating at the right thing. But when you're on your knees crying your eyes out, you can't manifest a goddamn thing.
No.
So you can bring elements and totems and crystal, like you can look at all the elements that would make up that energetic signature for you in herbs and flowers and organic stuff and deities and totems and crystals, and you can bring all of those together by research on the old internet, because there's a lot of information out there now. It's easier than ever to know. And what you're doing is you're bringing all of that vibration for the harmony you wish to create. So you're allowing the crystals and that energetic signature to be released for you when you can't pull it within. And that's what totems have become important.
Yeah.
So even if you start thinking about moon cycles, and on a full moon or a new moon, you regularly go out there and you do your little, honoring, then you bring crystals and totems that fit that energetic signature of that moon at that particular time. Energy changes in exactly the same way as you do, because everything changes. Right? It's always evolving. So when you think of moon cycles, when you think of like waxing gibbeses and waning, presents, and when you start looking at all of those, when you start doing it on the peaks, they sit in a zodiac. And when you start looking at the other influences in the cosmos, you can start bringing those totems forward that match that energy, which help align you within that energy. And again, you start learning differences of energy signature, and it teaches you peace, actually, is what it does. Inner peace.
Mm.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah, Bryce just asked a question. I don't know if you want to answer it, but I'm going to ask you. What crystal is best for binding?
Okay, not actually a crystal. The metal. And it's iron.
Mm-hmm.
Iron and salt. If you want to bind something.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of other things you can do, lots of different methods of binding. And actually, if you're really practiced with energy, then you don't actually need anything, because you can weave it yourself. But if you're, if you are looking at things, you're actually going for a metal. You want to ground that down. You want to stick it to its place. And any metallic kind of like structure in regards to the iron, if you think about it logically, right? You're in the paranormal, you like folklore, you like history, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the one thing that can't cross through the veil? What's the one thing that will stop any entity from entering? Yeah, it's iron.
Yep.
We put iron horseshoes above our doors. We carry iron if we, there's protection. We use those sort of things. But if you've got a name and you literally drive the nail right through that name, that ain't going nowhere. He ain't moving. He's stuck. He's grounded. He's like done.
Yeah.
There you go, Bri.
To answer your question, Bri? He's gone quiet.
It's the simplest thing. Sometimes it's the simplest
Faraday.
It's the most effective. Yeah. You know, what did you say about that?
Yeah, you can make an iron Faraday cage if you wanted to.
Yeah. It closes it in. It holds it in. And so think about those principles. Again, that's reflected in the scientific explanation.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
The trick is getting it inside it. Come hither, you nasty spirit. I'm going to.
Yeah.
No, obviously you don't do that, but you can do it by invocation, you know.
Yeah. I was going to say, so there's more to you. You've got Kerry Greenaway, the lady, if I may say so. She's got a lot of facets to her. She's not what you think she is. I'm not going to say how old you are, because you're the same age as me, near enough. And you've been in this business for a long time. You've crossed paths with many different types of people and genres and religions and beliefs and all the rest of it. So Kerry knows a lot. She can also guide you, and she'll talk to you, and she's doing these courses as a way of doing that and getting the message out, as she said today. But I want to talk to you about some of the, I say naughtier stuff, it's not naughty at all, about some of the alchemy side of things. I know, like an alchemist, you're not supposed to ask them. If you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. But you did walk down that pathway for a while. I don't know if you're still doing that alongside what you're doing, but how did you find that? How did that start?
Oh God, that started when like I've always done sort of like energy work, you know, like I've always done the energy work, and then I kind of like started dabbling with witchcraft, you know, do a spell. Right, it's exciting. And then I soon learned, because you know you get a few backfires and you get a few kickbacks when you're not doing it properly, and then you start learning and you go, right, okay, this is actually a little bit more serious than I thought, so we need to start learning a little bit more. So I came across somebody who sort of like kind of basically explains the principles and restrictions regarding like high magic and low magic and chaos magic and that sort of thing. And it was like, right, where do you sit? Because I kind of, with high magic, which is more like the alchemical route with the mages and the grimoires and stuff like that, it becomes a little bit too, for my liking, too rigid a structure. I have great respect for it. I have great honouring for it, actually, and I have used it. And it is incredibly effective. And actually, because they're tried and tested methods, you actually tend to get more results, because these are things that have been done over and over and over again by lots of different people. So it's almost like you're channeling into the energetic signature that's been built up in the same way as power symbols create that way. So when I was following that path, I found it very restrictive. So I kind of like would go with more what resonated for me in regard to my knowledge. So some would call it chaotic. I personally think it's actually more simplistic than chaotic, but it is about energy and utilizing the tools the universe give you to get what you want out of life. And no, I don't always get what I want, because sometimes what I want isn't what the universe is want, you know, it isn't for me. What is meant for you will not pass you by. But I'm sorry, but Gerald Butler still hasn't turned up on my doorstep, even though I've been manifesting it for years. It just isn't happening, guys. I just don't understand it.
Oh, well, who needs Gerald Butler? You know, there's others out there. They'll be queuing up at your door, Kerry. Don't worry about him.
It's really funny, because I was talking about the basic principle of manifestation to the Academy members, and I was saying, look, literally, you just have to ask for it, and it will come to you. The universe will work. Sometimes that takes a long time, but at some point it will manifest it if it's meant to be, right? So I was like, right, so to prove a point, I manifest a helicopter, right? And literally, as I'm saying it, a helicopter flies over my house while I'm saying it. And then I see things. Okay, we look at algorithms, we look at that side of things. But again, that's the logical explanation for something that's actually been put out there.
Yeah.
Things start coming up. So you'll see helicopters on the side of a bus, or you'll see helicopters in your newsfeed, or you'll see helicopters, or somebody will say, oh, I saw a helicopter the other day. It will come up, it will start coming up, and it will start being apparent. And when you start understanding the basic principle, hang on a minute, I kind of manifested a helicopter. Okay, I don't own a helicopter. I haven't got a helicopter in my garden, but it's in my world.
Yeah.
And that's the power of manifestation. Is literally, you literally go, I want, or I would like, and it comes, but you don't hold on to it. I wasn't sitting there going, I really need my helicopter. I want my helicopter. I just went, I'll have a helicopter. And that's how simple it is. The universe.
And do you think that that's, sorry, Kerry, sorry.
No, carry on.
I was going to say, do you think that that's the significance, that people don't realise the significance of the little nuances, those little things where, you know, they automatically think, well, I want a helicopter. Why am I not getting a helicopter? But they're getting all these signals as well, and all these little bits of information that's dropped to them. It's like, you know, it's like when you think about somebody you haven't thought about for years, and you think, really wish I could see them. And then somebody, you might not see them, but somebody will mention them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's little things like that that shows you there are people, there are energies in the background pulling the strings.
Yeah. I think the problem is with it is we have to overcomplicate stuff, don't we? As humans, we love to make it really complicated. And sometimes the simplest thing, but again, it's really simple for you to say, right, if you really, 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 really want something and you're putting out that manifestation, you can't, to tell someone, say, right, now let it go. Leave it with the universe. When you're really desperate, it doesn't, again, it's a block. You block it because you're holding on to it. And so it's a simple term that's really hard to do. And understand the concept of within yourself that you have to let it go. I'm a bugger. Yeah. I can't let nothing go. I really hold on to stuff. And I'm surprised, you know. but the work I have to do to actually, why am I holding on to it? Why am I actually holding on to this? But it's fascinating to me how it does tie together, because the universe wants to give you, it wants you to embrace your true core self, your authentic self in whatever shape that is. And that's not going to be the same as your sister or your best friend or your mate. And it can be incredibly isolating when you start understanding that, because what resonated before doesn't resonate anymore.
No.
And that can be painful because you have to let people go that you don't want to. But we go back to let go again and just allow it to flow. I'm a micromanager. My spirit team have been shouting at me about micromanaging. And so what they do is they know I have this, because your spirit team are working for you as well, not against you, although it feels like they're against you sometimes, which is a true story. And they'll go, right, so we know you like to micromanage. So what we're going to do is I'm going to throw something at you that actually catches your attention, and you start micromanaging in a different way. So at the moment, the way the universal energy is, the synchronicities and coincidences that are out there are crazy. You can't miss them. They're everywhere, right? Because they're so integral. I'm following threads like there's no, and I used to do this with radio research. Follow the thread. Where's this leading me? And the links that are coming through are literally off scale. So they go, right, we'll give you a few of those that'll keep you happy while we go and do. So basically they're removing me, getting my focus on something else while they do whatever it is they need to do to bring
you like a kid.
Me in.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, treat you like a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Although, and this is, I will say this, you do have to have boundaries with them. You do have to have your boundaries, like you do with people. You do have to go, no, that's far too far. I am no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Like
Sorry.
you would to any parent, like you would to any parent, I guess, isn't it? It's the same thing, and it's like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I want to do this, and this is it.
Yeah, and this is something I think people like don't realise in regards to even with just like doing energy work and just normal stuff. The crossovers are massive, but there's also a lot of wiggle room for mistakes. So you do have to know what you're doing, but you do research and learning.
Yeah, they blindly accept as well, rather than ask questions about it before you make your mind up. Yeah, which is a big lesson that I learned. Don't just accept it, ask questions.
No, because if they are doing something that you feel, I had a situation with my team, my spirit team the other day, and I literally called them narcissists. Didn't trust what they were saying at all. I said, no, that's a narcissistic trait. Why would you bring me a narcissistic trait? That makes me not trust you. And I literally said, I can't. Done. I'm done. I'm not. If that's how you're going to make me feel, I've worked too hard to come away from, a narcissistic in the physical. I'm not going to accept that in my spirit team. And then they were like, good, that's the right answer. That's the lesson. You learned the lesson. Like, no, but what? Hang on a minute, what the hell? You know what I mean? But it's about boundaries and learning boundaries. I'm a really easygoing person, and I allow people a lot of leverage in my life. So they feel like I'm weak, or they feel like I don't have any boundaries. Oh, I do.
Yeah. That's
we know you.
People see
we know you, Kerry.
When it's not, it's a strength.
Yeah, we know that. We know you. We actually know you quite well, so we know.
The thing is, I don't scream and shout and kick off, because I do it in a very controlled, subtle way. People misread that as, no, she's just being walked all over. And actually, when you think about it, and actually look at my track record, I suppose you'd call it. I've always been very strong. When I've said something, I've stood by it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because
young Kerry Ross here has got a question.
Oh, yes, I'll put it up. I'll put it up.
Oh, sorry, yeah. How do you connect with my spirit team?
How do you connect with my spirit team? How do I connect with your spirit team?
I guess she means, do you mean your spirit team, Kerry? How do you connect with yours?
How do you do it? In other words, how do you do it?
Okay, so when you do start connecting with your spirit team, it literally is as simple as knowing your own energy.
No problem, Kerry.
But you have to go within. And this sounds counterproductive. It sounds counterintuitive. Well, I want to connect out there, not in here. But you need to know your energy, because that's when you understand what's coming into your energy. And if you have no clue, that's why working and balancing and aligning within your chakras is really important, because you then can energy check through and go, I know where I sit with that. That's not that. Where's that coming from? That's not that. And actually that builds your connection with your spirit team. The more you do it, the more practiced you become. And then sooner or later, you're up there just in a click of a finger. You can switch it on and off as and when you, like Viv does, and, I do to a degree, and it's about learning how to change your vibration. But if you don't know what your vibration is to start with, you're never going to get your feet off the ground of it. So you actually, to start connecting with your own spirit team, you go within. Now, once you've learned that trick and you do start connecting in, the trust factor comes in massively on this one, right? Because you get some crazy ass information coming through and you're like, I don't know if that's what they're trying to tell me. And you're like, what does that mean? I mean, they were showing me black and white for a consistent message that was coming through was the black and the white. And I was like, black and the bloody white? Anyway, I don't know what you're talking about. Fine, we'll see how it plays out. Now, in my head, my normal, my critical thinking brain has gone, right, black and white, what does that represent? That represents yin and yang, and it represents balance. And where does that fit in regards to cosmological energy? And I start tying knots together, and I start going, and actually it didn't mean anything like that at all. It meant something completely different. And then you go, but when it happens, when that comes through, you go, oh, yeah, that's what that meant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it's odd.
and actually what that was feathers. I'd ordered some feathers, and it's as simple as this. I'd ordered some feathers. I thought I'd ordered something different to what I ordered, and what arrived was black and white.
And that was
And so what ended up happening off the black and white, I then started, because I'd done that mental gymnastics into balance, I'd gone down a little rabbit hole. It actually then inspired some smudge fans that I'm making. I'm making some new smudge fans. So
okay.
I'll show you one right here. Like, it's like little smudge.
Oh, they're pretty.
Little smudge. Anyway, with crystals, obviously. Which actually is what the universe is doing at the moment, which is rebalancing. So when you start thinking about all of that, what come off black and white was totally misinterpreted for me, for the impact on my personal life, because it was to do with the feathers. I'd ordered the wrong colour.
Yeah.
What I had in my head. But actually, on a bigger message, on a higher perspective, they're rebalancing anyway. So it all becomes relevant. As soon as that message, the message changed. Then the message started changing because I was like, oh, it was that then. You're always on catch up. You're always on catch up.
I got a question, and it's to do with that, really, that Kerry was asking and what you've just been explaining. So when you're working in this higher energy, let's say for me, I'm going to use mine and Dan's scenario because I still can't get my head around. I've asked, I've not had the answers. So maybe you know. I've worked in a higher energy when I've been out ghost hunting with Dan. It only happens with Dan. Dan is as spiritual or as psychic as a brick.
Yeah.
When I'm with Dan and when I'm in that mode, because Dan's coming into my energy, is that opening up Dan that he then can see and experience what I'm experiencing? In other words, he gets scared.
Yeah, probably.
I'm talking about that graveyard.
I was all right. It was you got terrified then.
Yeah, well, it's too many of them. Anyway, he comes into my energy, and it seems to be it only happens when I'm alone. Sounds disgusting. I'm alone with Dan. We're working together.
We get a lot of stuff, don't we?
We get a lot of stuff. The minute we bring somebody else into that energy, nothing.
Flat.
Right. So what's going on there is, right, you and Dan have actually a very close energy together. You've been friends for a long time. You know each other in and out. You're very trusting. It's a safe environment. So because it's in safe environment, you've both kind of like labeled each other as safe. When Dan comes into your energy field and you're working up there, he will feel it. You will feel it. He will feel it. Because you trust it, you allow it to happen.
Right,
now, if Dan was in a position where he stopped believing he's a psychic as a stick and actually accepted that he has the ability, because everybody has the ability, and just allows the control to go and raise up in that energy, he'd be as open as you and see exactly experience what you do without the fear. Now, bring somebody that hasn't got that bond with you, you will automatically shut it out. So they won't affect it. So yes, because your attention then becomes on, I don't know that energy, so I'm going to like kind of protect it. You're actually deflecting the energy from here to here, which would bring it down. Naturally, it would bring it down. Which is why when we say about our paranormal teams and you're working in the field, you need to really trust the people you work with.
Exactly.
It went mad though, Kerry. It went from me all the years I was doing it, them doing it. And I've had things happen, seen things, experienced things, but things just what you consider general things that you get, knocks, taps, footsteps, voices, that type of thing that most people get infrequently. And then when me and Viv started working together again, it was like I said to Viv, working with you has opened me up, because I don't think I'm that, spiritually or mediumistically skilled or what have you. But it went from that to, we had a Ouija board where we had the glass moving on it when both of us were working this Ouija board. And when we removed our hands off it, the glass was still Viv. the glass was still moving.
Mm.
And it went from that to that. And it was like from nothing to 1,000 miles an hour. And it threw me. And I said to Viv, it's your bloody fault. You've done this.
It
like,
throws you, and I tell you why it throws you. And it throws you because you get confined by your meat sack. When you realise, when you start understanding that you are much more, we say you're a spiritual being having a physical experience.
Yeah.
However, what you forget is that your spirit is actually overlaying your body. It's not that's more in control. You're constrained inside. So you need to understand that what's overlaying is actually a lot bigger than that. Our auric field goes out a lot bigger. That's your energy, right? Which is why you need to know about these things of energetic relevance. Because when you start, again, you go back to when you start allowing people into your energetic field, that's why sex is sacred. When whoever you allow into your energetic field, it becomes an energetic bond.
Yeah.
And if you're sleeping with Mr. Tom, Dick and Harry every 5 bloody minutes, you've got so much intertwines going on. You're going to have to unravel that at some point.
Yeah.
You're going to have to do the work on that at some point, because it will show up in other ways. It will manifest in other ways in your life, because it's destructive to your core soul that is constantly, it's full, it's whole, it's totally amazingly powerful. And then if you even realize your own strength or your own power, you wouldn't waste time with a lot of people.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Do you know what? I wonder if Kerry'd have an answer for that. It's that, because we've been looking for an answer for that, haven't we? That graveyard.
Well, we'll talk to Kerry off air about that.
I'll talk to you after, Kerry, if that's all right.
That's got to be a private conversation,
Yeah, it's an interesting one.
What I'm seeing all the time is that spiritual energy, because I don't see colors of auras or anything like that. It's just like an energy outline of a person. I can see how far it is away from the body or how close it is. I wonder if that's what I'm seeing all the time.
I think what you need to, again, think of yourself as, again, it's a misunderstanding. Right at the beginning of the show, Viv said about perspectives, shifting perspectives, lots of different facets to you. Everybody has these different facets. They show different faces to different people. We have different talents. That makes us unique. You are unique. That means your frequency is unique. But that means when you twist your kaleidoscope, i.e. change your vibration, how you interpret that in your spiritually physical body will be very key to you, which is why we have some people here, some people can channel, some people can automatic write, some people can do it all, some people can, all it is they've twisted their kaleidoscope just a little bit differently. So things will change and evolve the more you focus on twisting that kaleidoscope. And it's an energetic kaleidoscope. Because again, sacred geometry, everyone goes, it's very flat. It isn't. It's 5D, multi-dimensional.
Yeah.
When I do readings at times, I don't just look on this physical, what's going to happen around. I'm looking at what's happening on the parallels, what's happening in the galactics, what's happening in the higher self. Where are we sitting in regard to our soul integration? Because obviously the soul, it's all about bringing your soul and integrating it within the physical, so you actually become the most empowered version of yourself. You know what I mean? And it's concepts like this that become vast.
Hi, Carl.
Scary.
Yeah, Carl is scary. Yeah, he is scary. I'll give him that.
Hope you're doing well, brother.
Hello, darling. Oh, I hope you're well, Carl.
Carl, where you been?
Yeah, where you been?
This is terrible.
I thought you fell off the face of the planet.
I know. Wow. He's been planning
in the States again, hasn't he? That's what he's been doing.
Yeah, he's been planning on holidaying, most probably.
Probably.
Hope you're well, Carl.
A wedding.
Busy.
Oh, a wedding. Oh, do we have to buy a hat? Carl,
I have literally no idea at all. So
I think it's on the cards.
Anyway, little insight, but who knows? I don't know.
He'll let us know in due course, I'm sure.
He's gone quiet now.
He'll probably come and slap me for saying that now.
Yeah, it's gone viral. Everyone knows.
He's gone quiet
now.
Radio silence.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, but no, that's really, really interesting though, because it's happened not just in ghost hunting, but just being out with Dan. And yeah, I've said things to Dan because I felt it, not because I was in tune. I just felt it. Dan, oh, I'm not being funny, mate. You better drive home a bit slower tonight. I know you drive slowly anyway, like an old granddad, but
terrible.
I said to him, just be careful tonight down them country roads. I said, because I've got a feeling you're going to hit something. What happens? What happens?
Your intuition, and your intuition sits in your solar plexus.
4 kids.
Right? That's another thing. That voice that tells you, or that inner voice that all of a sudden says, "Oh no, don't go down that road," or that inner voice that says, "Oh no, don't buy that, don't do that." You don't know where it's coming from. You don't know where the hell is that. We call it women's intuition in us women, but I think you men do get it as well. It comes from your solar plexus. So again, when you start tuning into these energy centers throughout your body, you start understanding where these things come from. Is it intuition? Is it an omen, a message from a universal energy? Is it an entity message, like an angelic message, or a message from your loved ones coming through? Is this your spirit team? Because these things come in lots of different ways, and there's lots of different overlays of energy as well. So when you start really working with these, you start understanding that you can stand up on a platform medium and get somebody's loved one come through and give that message with validation as well, that's relevant in that circumstance. Or if you go to healing, they're actually, the trust between a healer and who's on the bed has got to be paramount.
Yeah.
Not go to any old healer. Go with recommendations and who you energetically trust with your energy. I can't stress this enough. If someone is doing energy work on you, if your friend is doing energy work on you, they've got an ulterior motive, it is negative. It will not work. It will not, because you're invested in it. What healing should be conduit. Healing should be conduit. Right?
Do you know what? You're absolutely right. I remember years and years and years ago, 20 odd years ago now, I went to see a guy who was practicing Reiki, and he was doing past life regressions and stuff like that. And I went to him for a couple of, and do you know what? His wife, who was a practicing Wiccan at the time, witch, she was lovely. She was absolute sweetheart. Him, something was definitely off with him. And I had past life regression with him, and I had about 2 Reiki sessions with him. And in the end, it was like, I can't deal with this guy anymore. And when I came out, I remember speaking to the girls. There was girls that had a shop next to his, I suppose, what would you call it, his workshop. And they worked in like this beauticians. And when I was speaking to the girls, they said, "You been in there with him?" I went, "Yeah." They went, and they all felt there was something off about him, which was really, really weird. And it's amazing because his wife was a sweetheart. He definitely something dark.
Really?
And I just had to stop dealing with him in the end because I was coming away feeling drained and sick rather than feeling regenerated or bouncy, you know? Yeah. It was like, it felt almost like he was bouncy, yeah.
It felt almost like he was bouncy. God, I've just got some pretty bad things in my healing session.
I'm round. I'm bound to be bouncy.
You don't want to be bouncy. You want support, mate. That's what you need. Good support.
Round.
You don't want to be bouncy.
In bed in absolute tatters.
Oh, we've got it. Oh, hang on. We've got Noreen Hill, Viv.
Okay, I'll put Noreen up.
Young Noreen. I've experienced a strong feeling about certain situations, and also at times when I suppose I'm not listening to that feeling in important situations, I've actually heard a voice shout a warning in my ear.
That is your intuition screaming at you, or and you know that is literally your own personal warning signs, your own personal guidelines. You know what I mean? When that starts talking, you start listening. You know, seriously.
Yeah, you got to listen to it. You've got to listen to it.
That is one of the key things. You've got to remember,
Sarah.
it comes from lots of different places, but your inner compass, your inner soul is talking to you. That's where your intuition is coming from. That's your authentic self. It's guiding you. Believe it, trust it. And it won't guide you wrong. I promise you, it won't guide you wrong.
Yeah.
So Kerry Ross says she gets strong gut feelings around her kids, especially the maternal energy, isn't it? It's
Yeah. Mother's instinct. And again, you go into the paranormal field, we talk about the strength of a mother when their child is at risk. They've really managed to do amazing feats. I think there was a child that got stuck under a car, and the mother literally single-handedly moved that car away from it. That is your mother. That is your inner ancestral bear coming out. That is the mother's instinct. Fathers do have it. Do not discount the masculine. And again, we go back to where we started the show effectively. The divine masculine has been so... What the masculine did to the feminine are currently doing to the masculine, right? And what it needs to do is come into balance.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
That's what you need to do.
I agree with that fully.
Balance.
So Lorna Nickel says, do you think the more you listen to your intuition, the more it develops?
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
100%.
There you go, Lorna.
The trick is listening to it, because it doesn't always come out and shout in your face. Sometimes it whispers. And it's whispering, and you're distracted in your physical world. And you kind of like, it's one of those where you go, oh, my intuition is telling me this, but I'm too distracted, so I'm carrying on.
Yeah.
And I don't listen. That's when it's dangerous not to listen, because it feels like it's not that important because it's quiet. But it's quiet because your attention is actually focused elsewhere. Now, you can't walk around sitting in your intuition all day, every day. You'd fall over and do silly things like fall into lakes and stuff.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because you're too in. It's getting that balance as within, as without. You go right back to where, theology kind of begins, right to the dawn of creation. And you look at Gilgamesh, the stories of Gilgamesh and the early texts, and then you look at the Emerald Tablet, and it's as within, so without, as above, so below. And that is about the reflection. And I can't emphasize this enough. If you're in a negative mind space, nothing's going to go right. Everything's going to be crap. You're going to feel like nothing ever goes right for me. Why does it always happen to me? Victim mentality.
Yeah.
Yes, bad shit happens. Your responsibility is to fix yourself from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Not
that.
bleed on everybody that you meet through your own pain.
No, I agree with that completely.
Bringing it back to self.
And that's the thing. I think that a lot of people don't take responsibility for themselves. They don't accept it.
It's
somebody else's problem.
And also, the other side of it is, it's bloody hard work.
Yeah.
It's easy work. You rip yourself apart trying to work it out. You can use normal methods. You can go to a psychotherapist. You can go to a psychiatrist to help work through these issues. This baggage, this stuff that stops you from being your most empowered self. You don't have to do it spiritually. You can go to your church.
Yeah.
You can go to your best friend and sit there and hammer that out with your best friend and go to, when I was a child, whatever it is. But there are many ways. Again, they give you many different methods that fit with how you work to do this inner work, this shadow work.
Yeah.
It's important. So you raise your vibration. You work through those.
Look at this message, Kerry. Kerry Ross says, I stood up one night for some reason and walked upstairs for no reason. I just felt like I needed to go upstairs. I saved my son from hanging himself. He was blue. We got him back. So her intuition, the mother's intuition, was more that night. And I'm so sorry you went through that.
He's fine. I hope he's fine.
I hope he's fine, yeah. But what you say is just like there. The intuition was so overwhelming. She just had to get up and act on it.
Yeah.
You don't even know why sometimes. You just get that urge I suppose
Yeah.
you'd call it. I have to
Yeah.
say though, and this is a film that's kind of really highlights this, is
Brilliant.
Final
Brilliant.
Destination.
Thank God.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
when he's going, I'm not getting on that plane. No, I ain't getting on that plane.
Yeah.
It
Kerry,
is
can
Kerry.
I ask you, will you come back when you've been to Cornwall
Yeah.
and you've done your things in Cornwall, will you come back and tell us if you saw pixies, 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 what do you call them?
Pishkies.
How did it all go?
Oh yeah, of course I will. Yeah, the Fae. I'm actually currently doing some private work with the Fae at the moment. So yeah, that'll
Cool.
be interesting.
Yeah, we'll have a chat on the Fae.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's a fascinating, because again, it's a different dimension. It's not. It's
Yeah.
a different. Again, it's fascinating. A fascinating world to work in.
And then we can see if we can sell you some more crystals at the same time.
Yeah.
That would be lovely to do. Thank you.
Can I just quickly ask anybody in the chat, do you want to see any particular crystals that Kerry might have before she goes? Get it in there now.
Yeah,
Be
she's got some
quick.
amazing stuff.
Be
All of
quick.
that stuff's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you want to see, quickly ask her now, and we'll see if she'll get them out for you. That sounds disgusting.
Get them out for you.
Get them out. Get
I'm
them
gonna
out for
get
your
them out.
public.
Do you know
Get 'em
what?
out for
It'll tell you, it'll show how good that she is, right? Because you lot on there, you know how tight a bastard I am, and you've seen me buy 2 pieces off her tonight. So there you go. That's how good she is.
Well, like I was saying earlier, it's funny that she showed that orb thing, because I'm thinking in my head, I want a black orb crystal. And then she went to that crystal and picked it up, and that's what it was.
There you go.
That's what I do, guys.
There you go.
And I understand the concepts, and I work with the concepts, but it's one of those, like, if I told you how to, I can guide you through it. I can show you how to utilize the tools you utilize, like that you buy, the crystals and the methods and the theology behind it. But until you start doing it, till you start embracing it, you just don't understand the power that you're buying or that you're investing in. And actually, you know what? It's an incredible journey. And if you want paranormal and supernatural and strange, high strangeness, they call it, mate, step into the spiritual. Because it's got it all. It's got it all.
Lorna, can I just say
you
she's
can be critically minded with it. That's the thing. I think people think because it's spiritual, you can't be critical minded when you can.
Yeah.
She's packed up some, but not all of it. So is there anything you want to see, Lorna? Just shout it out now, and we'll see if Kerry can show us. If it's packed, it's packed.
Right, let me work out how to turn the camera back around. Because Lorna was, no, that's turning it off. Bear with me. Oh,
Kerry, if you scroll up, we've put all the links. She's got a website, Facebook pages. Have a look on there and you can view the crystals online.
Right. Sorry about the state of the room. So the crystal room, this is my crystal room. So this is my stock room, effectively. I do a lot of energy work. There is, and I say a lot of it's packed up at the moment because I'm
get closer. Kerry, get closer so we can have a closer
look. Closer. Ooh, yeah. Get closer. The lighting is shocking.
Oh wow! Look at all of that.
Lovely, aren't they?
So yeah, we from tumblestones through to hearts, palms, spheres, specimens. We've got pyramids. We've got skulls. We've got dragons. Like so much is like out here. The labradorites are amazing.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Absolutely amazing. Look at these. These are just stunning. These are like little Buddhas. I love a little Buddha. Look at the flash on that.
That's quite cute.
That looks like Dan.
That's amazing. Rub his little belly full up. Just rub his little belly full up. Gotta love a fat belly. Gotta love a little fat belly. The courses of self and pendulum at the moment, they're out. So in pendulums, I've got tiger's eye, blue goldstone, a jade, an amethyst, an orange calcite, and what is that one? I think that's another tiger's eye. Yeah, it's a tiger's eye. So they're the pendulums I've got at the moment. But the course is full of information as well. I do intuitive candles, intuitive products. I just try and bring it all together. So like this is like the information, all the information on the signs, the symbols, everything, what it all means, why it all ties together. Give you deeper understanding of utilising a pendulum, because it is more than a yes or no tool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right. So did anyone want to look at? Sorry, look. I was so packed up. It's on tray.
Blimey, you are packed up.
They were saying that they want everything, anything and everything. Oh, I'd be like a kid in a candy shop. I'm a crystal hoarder. They're laughing at me saying that was Dan on that piece of labradorite.
yeah, labradorite, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Labradorite, yeah.
Lovely.
Well, go over, have a look on the website, or join me on one of my lives. Normally, I do a live on a Friday evening and a Sunday morning. But I'm away this weekend, so I won't be able to do the lives. But I will go live at some point at the event, just to sort of like show you where I'm at and what I'm doing, just to catch you all up, basically. But yeah.
Lauren, I said I wanted a course on pendulums.
So Kerry's course on pendulums is getting that.
Yeah. So
You're doing
I've got
that, Eric, aren't you?
So yeah, the course on pendulums and the course on self, which again comes with all the candles and the tools to, you know, to bring you into that, how you do that shadow work in a safe environment. Because when you're going through, you know, when you're digging deep into your, you know, your reasons of why you are the way you are, why you have these fears and anxieties or whatever it is that you're working through, it's a very, you're placing yourself in a vulnerable place. You need to do it in a safe, protective environment. And it's not about breaking yourself apart. It's about breaking yourself apart so you can actually connect better and empower yourself. But while you're going through that process, it can be very cathartically releasing, shall we say, in one way or another. And the tools to how you do that are in the course for self as well. So you can have a look at that. That's on the website as well.
Dan, will you read that out for Noreen, please?
Yeah, like Kerry, I had an experience like that. I had a feeling so strong it made me feel sick. It was to do with my son, who was a baby at the time. I ran to his room and he had a cord from a cot sheet thing wrapped so tightly, I've heard of that before, around his neck. He was blue, oh bloody hell, and blood vessels burst on his face. Ooh. Another minute and it would have been too late. Oh, bless.
Oh, wow. Oh.
So that experience has happened and you go, thank you for a start, intuition, that happened. That does not take the trauma of that experience out. That's the bit that you then have to work through.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when you think of just that experience, you know, afterwards, your psyche then goes with the guilt. Oh, my God, how did he even get to that point in the first place? And then you start questioning and doubting yourself and the fears come in. Then you get scared because you daren't leave them because that's happened and you get all that, you know, all of that. And it becomes a really big thing after the event because of the trauma that created at that moment. And to unpick that, it's integral, but we all need to work through things that have happened to us. That's our responsibility. We go back to accountability and responsibility.
Yeah.
That's not an excuse to beat yourself up into unworthy. It's about bringing you back to a place of worthy. Yeah. And that's where you've got to understand the shadow work. It feels again counterintuitive because you feel like you're bringing stuff up that you've put to rest. But if it keeps coming up in a pattern of behavior within you, then you have to address why that happens. And, you know, sometimes that's unpalatable.
Yeah. I've just had this gut feeling where when Dan goes into one of these moods and grumps, I just have to give him a slap. That's my gut feeling. Like,
yeah. Surprisingly enough, it might not be spiritual, but it works. She smacks the granny out of me.
Sometimes just to go, you are allowed to have a grump. You know, you don't have to be like, not with you going to work on this. Sometimes
it's so funny. It's quite funny.
This is something deeper. You know,
we do have a laugh.
Yeah. Anyway, listen, Kerry, we got to wrap this up because you're going to be cursing us otherwise.
Thank you, Kerry.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
As soon as you get back from when you coming back from?
Literally, I'm literally Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm coming back Sunday, so I'm only away for the weekend. It's a bit of a whistle tour.
Nice though.
Yeah.
Nice
place to go.
Yeah,
I love it down there.
Cornwall's stunning.
They keep trying to tempt me to move.
We don't
I
want
know.
to lose you.
I know, like tempting me. They're pulling me away from. I never thought I'd say this. They're pulling me away from my Canvey Island. I don't know when or how that's going to transpire, but yeah, last time I was down there, they showed me a cottage, and I was like, I could afford that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, that's just like, oh, so yeah, so definitely.
Yeah, we'll start up a petition, won't we, Carl? You ain't going nowhere.
I know. I am a bit of a hermit. I acknowledge I am a hermit. I do have to get out.
To Scotland.
I'm going.
Yeah, she is. She's very knowledgeable. So, Kerry, when you come back, we'll send you some dates. We'll get you booked in. We might do a couple of shows, actually. So, yeah.
I'll send you a message tonight because obviously I'll send you so you can send me the link. I can send you some money.
Lovely. Thank you.
Thank
I love
you.
to send me money.
Yeah, I might send you some money as well.
Nice. And if you're interested in any of my other projects, please check me out. I'm on the socials, Spirit and Soul Island. And if you want the Academy, obviously that's private because it's subscription. You'll have to message me for that. Or please go check out the website as well.
Excellent stuff. Thank you again, Kerry. That was absolutely brilliant, as always. Very enjoyable, very knowledgeable, and a real treat. Thank you very much.
And thank you to everyone in the chat for supporting us and putting your questions to Kerry. We will get her back because we know that she is very popular and everybody loves Kerry and her crystals. And yeah, we will do that very soon. But we are going to have to bring this to an end. We are still running a competition. If you saw us, that message scrolling across the bottom, we have extended it.
Got many takers yet?
We've had a few. So we're going to give people a chance to put their names across to us, and we are going to have a debate, and we are going to put forward our arguments as to why that name should win, and we will all have a vote, and hopefully we'll end up with a winner. We might have two winners. You never know. But did
you get Noreen's? Noreen says, "Did you get mine?"
Yes, if it's DM'd to the page, we definitely got them. I just need to get them all downloaded, all in one safe place.
There you go, Noreen.
Ready for this great debate that we're going to be having. It's going to end in tears. You really
thanks for participating, Noreen. And everybody else, it will end in tears, won't it? It'll end in tears. Mine probably.
We'll just laugh at you, Dan.
Why not? It's an ongoing thing.
Yeah. Right. Take care, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Take it easy, Carl. Good to see you, brother.
We will see you all soon. I can't end this stream. Something's going wrong.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.